It was supposed to be a fresh start. The Johnson family had recently moved to a quiet town far from the noise of the city. Emily and David, along with their teenage son Ethan and 10-year-old daughter Lily, had purchased an old house on the outskirts of town. It was affordable, spacious, and came with a sprawling backyard. But from the moment they stepped into their new home, something felt off. On the first night, as the family unpacked boxes, Lily wandered into the attic. She was drawn to a dusty old mirror leaning against the wall. Its ornate silver frame seemed out of place, as though it belonged to a different era. Lily reached out to touch the glass, and for a split second, her reflection didn't move with her. She gasped and ran back downstairs, brushing it off as her imagination. The first week in the house was quiet, but the strange occurrences began to pile up. At night, Emily and David heard faint footsteps above their room, even though everyone was asleep. Ethan complained about hearing whispers outside his window, but every time he looked, no one was there. Lily started drawing strange figures in her sketchbook, shadowy silhouettes with glowing eyes. "Where did you see these, sweetheart?" Emily asked one evening, holding up one of Lily's sketches. "They're in the house," Lily replied matter-of-factly. David tried to laugh it off. "It's an old house. Creaks and groans are normal," he said, though even he couldn't explain the feeling of being watched every time he walked down the hallway. One evening, as the family sat down for dinner, the power went out. David grabbed a flashlight and headed to the basement to check the fuse box. As he descended the stairs, he felt a chill that made his breath visible in the beam of the flashlight. The basement was damp with a faint smell of mildew. As David approached the fuse box, the light from his flashlight flickered. Suddenly, the beam illuminated a set of faint handprints on the wall, small, child-sized handprints that hadn't been there before. His heart raced as he hurriedly flipped the switch to restore power and ran back upstairs. "I think we should call someone about the house," David said, his voice trembling. "Call who? A real estate agent?" Emily asked. "No, a priest," he replied. The family agreed to have the house blessed, but the priest they contacted refused to come. "That house has a history," he said cryptically before hanging up. Curious and desperate for answers, Emily began researching the house. She discovered that it had been abandoned for decades after a tragic event. A family that lived there years ago had mysteriously disappeared, leaving behind only their youngest daughter. The girl was found in the attic, clutching the same mirror Lily had seen on their first day. That night, Emily and David woke to Lily's screams. They rushed to her room to find her standing in the corner, staring at the mirror she had brought down from the attic earlier that day. "They're coming," Lily whispered, her voice distant and hollow. The mirror's surface began to ripple as though it were water. Shadowy figures emerged from it, their glowing eyes fixed on the family. Ethan grabbed Lily, pulling her away from the corner. "Get out! Everyone, get out!" David shouted, ushering his family downstairs. As they reached the front door, it slammed shut on its own. The windows rattled, and the air grew icy cold. The figures from the mirror began descending the stairs, their whispers echoing through the house. Emily clutched Lily tightly, her voice breaking as she screamed, "What do you want from us?" A deep, guttural voice replied, "Leave or stay, forever." With all his strength, David kicked the front door open. The family ran out into the night, not stopping until they reached the edge of the property. When they looked back, the house was completely dark, the shadowy figures watching them from the windows. The Johnsons never returned to that house. They left their belongings behind and moved to a small apartment in the city. But even miles away, they couldn't shake the feeling that something had followed them. Months later, Lily found a small, cracked piece of the mirror under her bed, and from that day on, the whispers began again. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and share if you enjoyed this chilling tale. Do you believe some houses hold memories that should never be disturbed? Let us know your thoughts below.